Hello, Year 6. We are doing some more writing. It's been really good to see your sentence stacking writing from Alice in Wonderland and The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe over Tuesday and Wednesday. And we're now going to be doing a little bit of work on our own part of a portal story. So on Monday, you started thinking about some ideas for your portal. Hopefully you've still got those and you can always tweak them now. But we want to, as we've done with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe and Alice in Wonderland, just focus on the portal part, okay? That really important bit which gets our character from kind of whatever the present day is in the story through the portal and into our fantasy world. Okay. Now, the reason, well, let's talk a bit about the worlds, our two settings, okay? Because there's a bit of a sort of a theme in portal stories with the settings. Portal stories kind of appeal to people because it's a way of getting a human character into another location, okay, that's maybe fictional. So that's why we generally start with the present day or something that's really close to the present day. It could be set in the past, so we could have, like in Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, we can have the present day, so like standard world, standard England, say, but in the past because we can relate to that. Or in things like Philip Pullman's Dark Materials, it's quite clearly kind of normal world as we know it, but with a few minor tweaks, but it's still really relatable. And then our fantasy world is often very, very different to the other one, or in a science fiction kind of way, it could be a parallel world. But generally with a portal story, we go for fantasy because it means that we can take a human who we can relate to in our present day setting and put them in a fantasy world. Okay, if we just had a sort of a fictional character, a fantasy character, we wouldn't need to put them through a portal quite so much because we could just start with a fantasy character in our fantasy world. Okay, so you need to have two settings to do this. The first one will be a setting, something that really resembles kind of life as we know it, either in the past or the current present day, but it should kind of be I don't know, let's just call it standard world. Okay, so something that we can relate to, going towards a fantasy world. Now you should have ideas for this already. You should have some ideas, okay? And this is the new bit, I suppose. You started thinking a little bit about what the portal would be. We thought about whether it was going to be an object or whether it was going to be a gateway portal. When we say gateway portal, we kind of mean the same as what we've just written with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe and Alice in Wonderland. The character goes in something and comes out the other side. Okay? Now, in both of those extracts, both of those bits of writing, the portal was kind of like a plot point in itself. Something happens, okay, in the portal. It's not like it's not a teleporter. Okay, that's more exciting if the character experiences something in the portal. Okay, so even if you decide to have an object and the character touches the object and that whisks them away, we need to have the character experiencing something as part of that portal. Okay, so your task today is to plan this piece of writing. Okay, it's just like we did for our Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe and Alice in Wonderland, but you need to have planned your standard world. You need to know where that's set. Okay, you need to know all about that. You need to know where your character is ending. Crucially, you need to know and really be able to describe the start point. And when I say start point, where the character arrives. Because that's what you need to describe first of all, at the end of this piece, short piece of writing. So in Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Lucy arrives in the middle of that forest clearing with the lamp. And in Alice in Wonderland, she crashes through the ceiling into that room with the checkered floor. Now you need to describe that initial scene. So you need to know what happens at that first point. And then what happens in the portal. Okay? Is it kind of an extension of real life? So in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Lucy goes into the wardrobe and it carries on being a wardrobe until it's no longer a wardrobe. As soon as Alice falls down that rabbit hole in the other piece, while she's going down a rabbit hole, straight away we can see the weird stuff happening, and we can straight away see the fantasy coming in with the piano, with the playing cards and the books. So you can have like a gradual shift, a bit like the Alice in Wonderland one, or a sudden shift. Or it could kind of, you could have it with like time or space travel, but you could whisk your character off into something else. But then you'll need to describe, okay? You need to describe what the character's going through, whether they're going through, what sort of sensations they're going through. Are they seeing things while they're going through it? What are they hearing? What are they able to do? Okay? So for today's English, I want you to have a plan. I've got 3 plot points, or sort of the 3 stacks, I suppose, that we did. If you want to extend your portal section to another one, to have 2 of those, you can, but don't make it too long. You need to have described, so we need adjectives. I'm hoping this isn't too high up and you can see this on the video. Okay, we need adjectives to describe the settings and the portal. We need adverbs to describe the character. And again, just like I said with the last 2 bits of sentence stacking, if you can tell me something about the character through the stuff that they're doing, that would be even better, okay? But we need to focus more on this is the thing we need to focus on. These are our start point and our end point. This is what we need to really focus on, okay? This should be like 80% of the writing, 10%, because we'll carry on the story, but this needs to be what you really know about. So exactly what happens in that portal, what does it look like, what does the character do, okay? So it's just a planning exercise today. The more words and phrases you have today though, the easier the write on Friday will be.